Hello and welcome to the CIML Football Pregame Show. I'm your host, Blake Walker. It is week 6 of the Iowa High School football season here in the Metro. Another fun night of football ahead, another fun show ahead. We're going to take a look at the rankings, talk to a coach, and give you a preview of what's on tonight. Let's take a look at our latest rankings from Radio Iowa. Your Radio Iowa poll for Class 5A in Week 6 looks like this. Waukee Northwest is still the number 1 team, still undefeated. West Des Moines Valley sits at the number 2 position. Downland Catholic is at 3, who only lost to Valley by 1 point, but have looked good ever since then. Ankeny starting to get rolling here. Picked up a big win over Sioux City East. Daniel Larmy and that whole offense looking very solid. They sit at the number 4 spot. And Johnston, remember they picked up that big win against Iowa City Liberty, sits at the number 5 position. Speaking of Iowa City Liberty, they are at the 6th position. They beat Iowa City West last week. The Lightning are up to the 6th position. Sioux City East, despite the loss to Ankeny, which wasn't a terrible loss, still sit at the number 7 position. The rest of their schedule should favor out. They should be okay toward the end of the season. Iowa City West drops to 8th after the loss to Liberty. Cedar Falls is at the 9 position, and Southeast Polk has made their way back to the top 10, trying to fight their way back up. They took care of business last week against Ottumwa. Don't forget the Rams when it comes to the postseason here in just a couple weeks. When we come back, we got a couple coach interviews that we're going to toss to. We have a lot more to come here on the CIML Football Pregame Show. We'll be right back.
Joe here with Westside Auto Pros. I know that sometimes your car can be inconsiderate and need work when you're short on cash. So here's what I'll do. When you get your car fixed at Westside Auto Pros, I'll loan you the money to pay for it. Whatever you want done, repairs, services, tires, you name it. Get your car back on the road and you won't even pay any interest for 90 days. My wife thinks I'm nuts.
No interest, Joe? Are you nuts?
Get your car fixed now and pay later only at Westside Auto Pros. You don't suppose she's right?
Employee pricing plus extra DeArmond discounts at DeArmond Ford. New 2024 F-150s with over $20,000 off. Get a new Ford Bronco with $9,000 off plus 3.9% for 72 months. New Bronco Sports on sale for $37,990 plus 3.9% for 72 months. And new Super Duties with $10,000 off. Extra discounts on top of employee pricing. Only at DeArmond Ford, Indianola.
Welcome back to the CIML Football Pregame Show. Blake Walker along with you here this evening before getting you to the big game here this evening on this week 6 of Metro football here on this beautiful Friday. Dar Danielson had a chance to sit down with head coach Gary Swenson of the Valley Tigers ahead of a big matchup tonight against the Centennial Jaguars.
Joining us now is Valley head coach Gary Swenson. And Coach, kind of heading, hard to believe, heading into November now and heading down the stretch here. Let's first just talk a little bit about where your team has come since the start of the season and how you think you've done so far.
Well, the season always goes fast. And as we, close out this first full month of Friday night football, we're okay. We're 4-1. We've played good teams. We've had our ups and downs. We're getting a few kids back that we had missed for a couple of weeks because of injuries. So I think we're in pretty good shape. We've got a couple of real big games coming up, this one, and then with Ankeny in 2 weeks. So those will be, I would say, we're going to be a playoff team. The seeding will be determined by 2 of our last 4 games, and this is one of them this Friday.
Yeah, and I know we've talked in the past that these teams, even when their record might not be as good, what you saw Waukee gave you a battle all the way, and this Centennial team, they've got a lot of good players too, so this is going to be another good one, isn't it?
Well, it is, and if you look at, they're 3-2, but if you look at the 2 teams that beat them, they're teams that could easily end up in the Unidome for that semifinal round and maybe even in the championship game. So I don't know how much stock you have to put into a record to date, but I think us and them would be on the same level of, I guess, how people would think we've done up to this point in this season.
What do you have to do to be successful against them then?
Well, we didn't. is stop the run. I mean, get off the field on defense, and that's what we weren't able to do the other night. We won the game handily, but I still didn't like what we were doing defensively as far as, and I think part of that was we were missing a few kids, but we just got to be better because Centennial probably might be the best rushing football team we play. And the Jerry's team, now Ryan, over the years have been really good at misdirection and precision and timing on offense, and this team's no different. So you've got to be able to disrupt that and play complementary football with your offense and try to keep them off the field and then get your points when you have a chance.
And as always, you say, minimize those mistakes, right?
Oh, for sure. The night we lost, we had 3 turnovers and 5 penalties, and our opponent, Waukee Northwest, had no turnovers and no penalties. Well, now some of those were caused by them, so credit to them, but we also know in a close game, those things get you beat every time, and it helped our demise that night. And we lost a close game, but they were in control mainly because of our own errors. So you're right. This Friday's a typical example. Mistakes will get you beat.
Well, I hate to see September end, but November always brings excitement as the season winds down, and as you say, looking at where you're going to be in the playoffs and what happens. But, it's cliche, but you just got to focus on each game ahead right now, don't you?
Well, you do. And it seems like everybody had some really good games early and then a couple late, and for us, it's both Ankeny teams. So we'll see how we do. I like where we're at, though. We're not in panic mode by any means, but we also know how frail your success can be when it comes to injuries and depth and things that happen at the end of the year.
All right. Well, as always, we appreciate you sharing with us here as we look forward to Friday night's game, and good luck to you, Coach.
Thank you, Dar.
Once again, want to thank every coach that's chatted with us all season. Helps us give a good perspective to you, the fans, and to us for a little bit more insight into the big games here on Friday night. More when we return. You're watching the CISN Football Pregame Show.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore. And if your old fireplace isn't giving you everything you want, you need to come see us so we can show you Heat & Glow's industry-leading gas fireplace inserts. A Heat & Glow gas insert will convert your old wood burner into a high-efficient gas fireplace that's easy to use and will warm your house. Come see us soon and get on the schedule for this winter's installations. For the best selection of fireplaces in the state of Iowa, come see Fireplace Superstore, just west of Homeacres on Douglas Avenue.
Welcome back to the CISN Football Pregame Show, putting a bow on tonight's pregame show before we send you up to the gridiron here this evening. Let's take a look at what is on the docket tonight on the Central Iowa Sports Network. Valley at 4-1, taking on Ankeny Centennial at 3-2. Not quite a must-win game for the Jags, but it's nearing must-win territory. Valley 4-1 on the season has looked really good ever since their loss earlier in the year. Centennial 3-2, losses to Ankeny, losses to Southeast Polk, trying to get things going. They have a pretty good offensive attack, balanced throughout. We'll see if Coach Pizzetti can get his Jaguars back on top and back on track. Valley has looked really good the last couple weeks. Drake DeGroat is humming with the offense. And then Northwest takes on Ottumwa. If you haven't watched Waukee Northwest this year, here's a good chance tonight. Ottumwa 3-2. Did not have a good showing last week against Southeast Polk. They look to improve off that here in another stretch of this tough road stretch here in the Metro. Northwest 5-0. Mac Heitland, one of the top quarterbacks in the state at just a junior. A very good wide receiver core, a defense that backs it up. Northwest is going to be very tricky to stop tonight. And we have more coming up. Let's send it over to Paul and Tim previewing Johnston versus Ankeny tonight on WHO.
Tim Halber, Paul Yeager, two guys that follow football. Sometimes we do some football. Tim, Johnston, and Ankeny. Let's talk about this game because I feel like it's a carbon copy. Brian Woodley says, there it's a carbon copy. I go, does that mean you and Ankeny are the same, or this is like it's been in the past? And he said, yes. Would you concur?
Yes, looking at their stats, they're mirror images of each other, how they run and pass. Once again, I don't think Johnston doesn't run the ball as well as Ankeny, but nobody does run the ball as good as Ankeny does. So it's a matchup. They pass well. Johnston passes a little bit bigger pass plays. They're averaging around 17 yards per completion, where Ankeny's more around the 10 mark, but the same completion percentage. Offensive play sets, how many plays they get so far this season. So they look a lot alike offense and defensively.
I think you said that Johnston's per pass completion yardage is very, very high. I think it's something around 17. There's big play receivers for the Dragons. Good athletes all around. New quarterback, Helming has had a good job of watching Will Nuss for 3 years be the quarterback. It's a great understudy, and he's shining at the right time.
And he's a big kid. He's like 6'3", 195, junior. He's got 10 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions, so he doesn't get in trouble a lot. He's not a big rusher, probably like Roush is. Like he can tuck the ball and run. He's got over 100 yards rushing for the year. So they're a little bit different styles. Both are big quarterbacks. I think this may come down to which quarterback plays a sharper game, and doing the little things besides the running game, which may determine the outcome.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot about running. Johnston, we remember Barku from years past. He was a difference maker, but Ankeny kind of was able to always kind of contain him. This defense is going to have its hands full tonight as well in stopping the run game, I would think.
Yeah, they may focus on that. I'm looking at Emory Jones he's got 313 yards on the season. But they've done a good job. That linebacking core, they're very active out there. That the Ankeny defense is hard to run. He's at 3-3 with the Hawk linebacker that's out there. They'll be tested in the secondary, speed against athleticism. If they can make Helming a little nervous, moving around the pocket more, his passing may not be as sharp. So look for some more blitz packages. Last week we saw it was Sandvig out there blitzing. It was the outside linebacker. It might be Whittinger coming in the middle. So they're mixing things up. They may do the same thing again here to try to get that offense, not letting them get into the flow of the game.
Third straight week, Ankeny Stadium will host a top 10 game. So should be fun to see. All right, Tim, I'm Paul. Enjoy your Friday night.
Yeah, you too.
That will do it for us here on the Central Iowa Sports Network pregame show. I've been your host, Blake Walker. Appreciate everyone for watching. We will send it to the big game this evening, and we hope to see you next week. Don't forget, RPI comes out. Things get very interesting here at the top of the boards. Top 16 make it to the postseason. It's going to be the last couple fun weeks here in Iowa high school football in Class 5A. Enjoy the game, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Welcome into Waukee Northwest Football Stadium. A waxing gibbous moon overlooks this top-ranked Wolves squad looking to howl to a 6-0 record with Ottumwa visiting tonight. John Schaefer with Blake Walker, and what a beautiful night it is. 82 doesn't sound like an October night to me, Blake, but it is what we've dialed up, but no clouds in the sky, perfect. I'd say summer weather for this football game.
Yeah, I would say so. There's a lot of excitement around here in Waukee Northwest. I mean, this is a team that really looks like they play the part of a team that can possibly win a state championship this year, ranked number 1 in the Radio Iowa poll. They get a team tonight in Ottumwa that struggled last week against Southeast Polk, just trying to get something under them. But this is a chance tonight to really show off what this Waukee Northwest team is made out of.
Still a 3-2 Ottumwa team, obviously trying to bounce back. But Waukee, as you mentioned, just a dangerous squad, and they're led by their quarterback, junior Mac Heitland, who has remained perfect in a touchdown-to-interception ratio.
It's unbelievable. 18 touchdowns, no interceptions all year, 1,289 yards passing, and he's just a junior. And we kind of knew what he would be able to do last year as a sophomore. You and I called his game against Waukee last year. The kid has arrived, and he has a team around him that really is hungry to take this to the next step. And I think, like I said, there's something special brewing over here at Waukee Northwest.
And his go-to target, an Iowa commit.
Yeah, and it's Isaiah Oliver. I mean, the senior has been so good. There's a reason why Kirk Ferentz wants him with the Iowa Hawkeyes and why he is going to join him in Iowa City. 523 yards receiving, 6 touchdowns. He's their go-to guy. But in a game like this tonight where I think we see a little bit more running game, Ryan Woodruff's going to be really fun to watch as well. They're not a big team by any means, but they sure do make it work in all facets of the game.
On the other side, Ottumwa, we've watched them last week, a ground and pound team as we see Northwest taking the field tonight. That flex bone offense is really their staple, running that triple option. What can we expect from the Bulldogs?
You're going to see a lot of just right up under center, and it's really going to be a pretty standard game for Ottumwa. I doubt they changed much from last week. Spencer Dalby, just a sophomore quarterback. They don't pass the ball. They've only completed 6 passes this year. They've only thrown it 26 times. Rushing-wise, Tyler Shoss is going to be a little bit of that running game, fullback dive kind of, and then look at C.J. Vance as well. Again, you're just not going to see the ball go in the air a lot. Ottumwa has the style of football that they like to play. Northwest has probably scouted for it all week.
Looking forward to a good one here. We'll get you back to kickoff in just a moment on CISN.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Joe here with Westside Auto Pros. I know that sometimes your car can be inconsiderate and need work when you're short on cash. So here's what I'll do. When you get your car fixed at Westside Auto Pros, I'll loan you the money to pay for it. Whatever you want done, repairs, services, tires, you name it. Get your car back on the road and you won't even pay any interest for 90 days. My wife thinks I'm nuts.
No interest, Joe? Are you nuts?
Get your car fixed now and pay later only at Westside Auto Pros. You don't suppose she's right?
And once again, we're back here, home of the Northwest Wolves. They will wear the black uniforms, white tops, or white lids, I should say, gray pants. Ottumwa, the red numbers, red helmet, all white uniform. And again, talking about Ottumwa, I think you are going to see a lot more shots tonight just because they've got to get north-south faster. They know that they probably can't win out on the edges, so you got to get north-south as quickly as possible against a really dangerous Northwest front tonight.
Well, and Coach Light's crew knows what they're up against. I mean, they're up against the number 1 team in the state, and I think, they started the year 3-1. Their competition just wasn't lights out by any means, and then they just get shell-shocked, losing 70-6 last week against Southeast Polk. They have to come back on the road. I think they kind of know what they're up against here this week, and for Northwest, it's just you can't overthink things. I mean, this is a game that you're heavily favored in. You should be able to take care of business, all things considering. Like you said, just you're going to have to hurry it up if you're Ottumwa.
And then on the other side, Corey Kapatich, year 5 now with Northwest, and an Ottumwa grad, played at Ottumwa High School and played at Drake as well, but certainly got to be a little nostalgic feeling for him coming into tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and the way that Coach Kapatich coaches, I mean, he's had trap games before, and I wouldn't call this quite a trap game, but he sets his teams up well to perform in these type of games. Northwest has one of the top scoring offenses in Class 5A. It is the top scoring offense in Class 5A, 41 points per game, and they're only giving up 15. So they know how to make things happen. They know the RPI comes out next week. They know they have big games ahead. That's one thing I don't think a lot of people fully realize. You got Southeast Polk next week on the road, then you got Waukee back here. You can't think ahead in the next couple weeks.
We'll be on that call for the Waukee game, and of course Northwest Southeast Polk, I believe the WOI game of the week next week at 7 p.m. A couple of other big games on CISN next week, Indianola at Centennial and Waukee at Dowling. But here tonight, we've got the Northwest Wolves, again, number 1 in Class 5A, taking on the Ottumwa Bulldogs, who come in 3-2. Getting ready for kickoff. It's going to be Isaiah Oliver, and it looks like Jordan Green back to receive as Ottumwa will get ready to kick it off. Been a lot of pregame festivities. It's teacher night, recognize a teacher, as well as the pink out game. So you'll see the cheerleaders and dance team on the sidelines as well with the pink poms. Student section in pink as well as we get ready to kick it off here from Northwest High School in Waukee. Once again, John Schaefer on the call with Blake Walker tonight. Sit back and enjoy the ride over the next 4 quarters as Isaiah Oliver will take it from the 2. Sees a seam, going to bounce it outside, and he's off to the races. Just the kicker to beat. Is he going to open with the 98-yard kickoff return? He will take it to the house. Took just 13 seconds, but Isaiah Oliver has the Wolves on the board.
Came into tonight just 2 kickoff returns all season for 43 yards. He goes 98 right there, and it was all because of really good downfield blocking and then the speed. There's a reason that he's going to be a Hawkeye next year, and that's why Iowa fans should be excited.
Just hit that seam so quick, and then once he got the edge, Blake, there was no catching the trackster.
Unbelievable speed.
We'll see the swinging gate here for Northwest. As we get ready for the PAT, they'll set things up and settle in, and an ever-elusive and rare left-footed kicker, Blake.
It's a rarity, but he makes the job work.
Snap, hold, and kick is up and good. And that was Keenan Quaid, the senior, hammering it through the uprights. And already we're out to a quick lead. We'll head to a quick break before Northwest kicks it off. Here back to Ottumwa for their first look on offense.
Employee pricing plus extra DeArmond discounts at DeArmond Ford. New 2024 F-150s with over $20,000 off. Get a new Ford Bronco with $9,000 off plus 3.9% for 72 months. New Bronco Sports on sale for $37,990 plus 3.9% for 72 months. And new Super Duties with $10,000 off. Extra discounts on top of employee pricing. Only at DeArmond Ford, Indianola.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore. And if your old fireplace isn't giving you everything you want, you need to come see us so we can show you Heat & Glow's industry-leading gas fireplace inserts. A Heat & Glow gas insert will convert your old wood burner into a high-efficient gas fireplace that's easy to use and will warm your house. Come see us soon and get on the schedule for this winter's installations. For the best selection of fireplaces in the state of Iowa, come see Fireplace Superstore, just west of Homeacres on Douglas Avenue.
Liam Mamutagic kicks it off short, and it's going to start Ottumwa off right about the 28-yard line. And I'm sorry, it was Mamutagic with the PAT, just a junior, and just his, looks like, 3rd PAT of the season. Not sure what to make of it, if it's an injury to worry about or if it's just a situation where let's get some extra kicking reps to the junior.
Next man up, either way. You know, we talk about Waukee Northwest offense, but the defense is also just something that they really pride themselves on. 15 points per game given up, 9 interceptions. I know this Ottumwa team doesn't throw, but boy, if they do throw, Northwest is going to be all over it. 9 interceptions as a team.
CJ Vance in the backfield, sets, gets the handoff, bouncing it out left side, picks up 2, 3, then stacked up by a wall of black jerseys. And that's a nice little pickup for Ottumwa on first down.
And you and I saw it last week. I mean, C.J. Vance and Tyler Shoss, they just kind of split carries. Tyler Shoss got a bulk of it for the most part. And then Spencer Dalby will take off just a little bit under center. But really what you just saw, if you're watching at home, it's not going to change. That's pretty much all you're going to see tonight from Ottumwa. They're ground and pound. They try to stick behind their big guys. Northwest just going to have to stay home most of the night.
So it'll be 2nd and 7. Ottumwa set in that flex bone. They'll fake the end around. Another handoff right up the middle. That one looked like it was to Shoss. Goes nowhere.
That was Eli Eckerman, junior linebacker, 5'10", 195, got in there first for Northwest, kind of leading the pile a little bit.
And this is what we saw a little bit of last week with Ottumwa, just having a hard time getting between the tackles. And again, Northwest has a great front 3.
Well, they're not a team that bounces it. I mean, they're in between the hash marks, or they're in between the hash marks most of the time. It's rare that they even try to push it outside, and it's nothing fancy. I mean, here even on 3rd and long, I mean, probably maybe see if we just keep it in Dalby's hands, really what we saw last week.
Credit to the running backs as Dalby rolls out to his left under duress. The lefty fires, nearly hauled in, but just out of the hands of Eddie Kennedy, and that'll force a 4th down and 8. And here comes the punt unit for Ottumwa.
It wasn't a bad throw. I mean, he tried to lead it out in front. Blake Ludwig was the captain on defense, number 30 there. He was the one that got out to the edge, kind of made a good play on it, but I think it just took a little bit too long to develop, and going to go 4 and out or 3 and out here to start.
And I think if Kennedy takes another step before making that dive, he might actually come up with it. It wasn't too far off the fingertips. Instead, Ottumwa will punt this one away. Big booming punt. Gets some rollout, bounces at the 31, and that's just going to head out of bounds inside the 20. No chance for a return back there. And that's where Waukee's offense, the Northwest Wolves offense, will take over as Jordan Green watched that just skip by him. And this will be our first look at Mac Heitland.
About a 48-yard punt, something like that. Yeah, we talked about Mac Heitland in the opening, John, and boy, I mean, he's just been so fun to watch. The junior, 18 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's averaging 15.7 yards per pass, 1,289 yards, 82% completion percentage. I mean, the kid is on the money so far this season. He's one of the more fun quarterbacks to watch.
And they'll spread the offense out. 5 wide for Heitland, drops back. He's going to roll out, then fires one across the middle. Joe Vineyard off to the races, battles through one tackle, and he's going to sprint down the sidelines before being hauled down at the 33. That's going to be about a 48-yard pickup for the Wolves. Another look at it as Vineyard's left wide open over the middle.
And he's kind of their not quite tight end option, but he sure does make a big play here. He's got 17 receptions now on the year, now well over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. Just kind of a big body there in the middle. And, you know, this Northwest offense, if you watched Iowa City Liberty last year, Heitland reminds me a lot of Reese Reddick, just likes to move in the pocket and can make throws.
Heitland rolling out to his right this time, short little pass, and he'll connect with Michael Dunnigan, the senior wideout, 6 foot. And that's a short little modest 3-yard pickup, but completion number 2.
And it's crazy. I mean, we look at receptions across the Metro. Most of these teams have about 10 receivers that they go to. Waukee Northwest has 6. 6 guys have only caught a pass this year, but it's 6 really good core wide receivers. Mix in a couple juniors in Green and Vineyard, but then seniors in Comby, Woodruff, Dunnigan, and Oliver.
First time we've seen Woodruff line up in the backfield. They'll fake the handoff. Heitland under some pressure, lays it out there, and just a little bit too far out of reach.
There was really good pressure off the edge for Ottumwa, and C.J. Vance was the one in defense on the cornerback side. And he kind of played defense there. Yeah, I think he maybe could have gone for the pick if he really wanted to, but he was more focused on holding back the wide receiver and falls incomplete.
So the first incompletion for Heitland will bring up a 3rd and 7 for the Wolves offense. Woodruff to his left. 2 wide out left, 1 to the right. Heitland going to roll out to his left. Fires a dart to the sidelines. That's hauled in by Oliver for just enough for the first down. Nice job dancing on the sideline there by Isaiah.
What have we seen early from Mac Heitland? Has he stood still? No. I mean, he's just moving. He's a big rollout. He's going to use his legs. He's really good at throwing on the run. It's just rare you see him sit in the pocket and just stand still.
Moves the pocket with ease against this Ottumwa team, and credit his O-line so far outside of one real good pressure. They've looked sharp to start. Woodruff to Heitland's right now. Trips wide to the right. Heitland going to hand off to Woodruff. His first carry of the night, bouncing it outside. Hauled in nicely. Good wrap up on the far side of the field, but not after he picks up 6 on that carry.
It's a really nice tackle over there in open space by Joshua Lee, 5'8 linebacker, and I don't hate the call at all. You've been passing this whole time, and you pull out a draw, and really you could see everybody was spread out on the Ottumwa's defense. Lee just makes a great tackle.
2nd and 4 from the 21. Again out of shotgun, trips in tight. Heitland rolls to his right a bit, finds Lee in the open flat. He gets hauled down, a bit of a horse collar, and that's a funky tackle. We're going to get either a hold or it's in the realm of a hold, but that's a dangerous tackle on Isaiah Oliver there.
Yeah, C.J. Vance just trying to pull him down, and they kind of got tangled up, but yeah, I'm surprised it wasn't called there. The hold is back at the line of scrimmage somewhere, but you can see it here again on the open field.
It's one of those you fall across an ankle, and that's how you get a high ankle sprain, something like that, but
I don't know if he really, it was more hip drop tackle than anything.
That's why the NFL's tried to get it out of the game. We've seen some broken ankles and broken legs due to it, but instead it's a 10-yard holding penalty on Waukee Northwest. That'll make it 2nd and 14. Highland once again going empty backfield. Looking for a quick little wide receiver screen. Here's Isaiah Oliver. Tunnel screen, working to a T. He's got some space, spins out of another tackle down inside the 5. Enough for the first and goal. You see just the patience with the blocking from Isaiah Oliver.
Well, if you watched Thursday Night Football last night, Puka Nakua, that's really what Isaiah Oliver is to this offense. He is a do-it-all, gadget-type player that they're going to put him in the slot. They're going to put him anywhere that he can go because he has enough speed, enough agility, enough strength to make plays like that. Now you got yourself set up inside the 5.
The Wolves peering over to the sideline, waiting for the play to be called in.
This is a team that, sitting behind 6'6", 330 Dalton DeBoer, big number 71. Watch this thing go left side.
Heitland going to put it up, back corner fade, gets held up just a little bit, was looking for Jordan Green. And he just couldn't create separation from the corner. That's a really nice job by Ethan Herta.
Green wanted a flag. Ball wasn't really catchable. It was going to be tough to go to the back corner.
Sorry, that was Efren Herta. My apologies. Nice job out there just disrupting his route. Brings us 2nd down and goal from the 5. Highland hands off to Woodruff. Woodruff plowing ahead and into the land of 6. For touchdown number 2 on the night for the Wolves.
Well, I said it there going before. If you're going to see it on the replay, big number 71 Dalton DeBoer, 6'6", 330. He's going to play for the Deacons at Wake Forest. Take a look on this left side. You're going to see him. Boom, there's the block. He pushes one guy away, and then Woodruff has to make another man block, and then he's still blocking after the whistle goes. But that's just the offense that they can do because they have the line that backs them up, especially with DeBoer at left tackle.
We talked about it a little bit last week with Southeast Polk. That's the recipe to win a state title. You have to have size in the trenches. Northwest certainly does, as we'll get another field goal attempt here. Up and through for Liam Mamutagic. The junior stays perfect on the year, 4 for 4. We'll head to break on CISN. Northwest leading Ottumwa 14-0.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
Well, the fan section, student section, loving life as they kick it away once again. This one high, loft, short, and muffed. And Waukee Northwest has a chance to get on it. And they do, and they're going to take it right back, but they blow that dead at the 15 as that kickoff is muffed. And Northwest going to have a chance to build on their 2-touchdown lead.
It was kind of a knuckleball. I mean, Mamutagic puts us in the right spot. It's kind of like what the Rams were trying to do last night with the kickoff rules, but that just really worked out, and it was dropped right through the hands, and jumping on top of it for Northwest was Ty Thompson.
Chris Moore just kind of in a tough spot there for Ottumwa, and it's hard to make that catch on the sprint, especially when it's an end-over-end kick like that.
Well, in the wind, it's gusting. It was at the kick, so, I mean, it's going to fall shorter than he thinks it's going to go.
And it's Heitland rolling out to the left once again, this time going for the back corner, a little strong and just over the head. Right there for Jordan Green once again. They've been kind of forcing it to Green, it feels like a little bit, huh?
Been trying a couple things. I mean, you know, he came into tonight 82% completion percentage, and that's been really good. High percentage throws. He's just missing a couple tonight early. I mean, it's still early, and, you know, of all opponents to do it against. Ottumwa's just kind of one of those, you're testing a couple things, checking out some things, but he's been off on a couple, but he'll settle in here in a second.
Paolo Tabungi is the back next to Heitland. They'll hand it off to Bungie, bouncing it to the right. It's a sprint to the corner, and he will cross the finish line and in for another score, and Northwest is taking it to the Bulldogs.
It's fun having a tight end that can catch the ball. It's even more fun when you have a tight end that can block, and that's exactly what Joe Vineyard does. Watch on the right side here. He's going to block 2 guys across right there, and then that opens the lane right up. Boy, Vineyard for a junior, 6'5", 220. Great block on the right side by the tight end. That cleared that whole lane open.
And the sophomore Tabungi shows the speed as well. No one was going to touch him, but you're right, for just a junior tight end, there should be some eyes, certainly here on the Northwest Wolves star. Another one up and through, and tack on that PAT, 21-0. We still have 6:56 to play in the first quarter. Northwest leading Ottumwa here on CISN.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Western lets your UTV power through the storm. The Impact V Plow and Impact Straight Blade, with the features the pros demand. Custom tailored for your UTV. And to keep your work top notch, rely on the Tornado UTV Hopper Spreader. Now that's a job well done. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
And there's our kickoff once again. This one stays short. Going up the middle, though. Strong run and return by Efren Herta. Out to about the 40. He's going to be marked down right around the 38. And that's where Ottumwa will start once again for drive number 2.
Slight over pursuit by the Waukee Northwest kick team. It's going in the same spot. They kind of cheated. They were like, well, if he dropped one, he might drop another. But Herta was able to hang on to it. Interested to see what Ottumwa does here. Obviously, they had that one passing play that kind of worked. I think maybe if the throw was a little bit quicker, a little bit better, it might have gotten there. But, I don't really think you see much change here. I think you're just going to have to get it back on the ground game. And it's possible that the lanes could open up. But Northwest, they stack the box so much because they know what they're facing.
Yeah, and we saw that again. Just tough sledding once, Ottumwa had their way a bit in the run game early on this season. Now they're matching up against some of the best in 5A. Not to take away anything from their 3-2 record, but it's a different battle. And it looks like we're getting a conference there amongst officials at the 38. Not sure what it is.
Really, no. Is it possible that he called a fair catch? I think that's exactly what it is. I'm pretty sure Herta might have called a fair catch when he caught it. That's what it is.
Yep, fair catch. So, again, can't signal a fair catch and then take off with it, even if you hand it off. Although that'd be kind of funny if you hand off the fair catch, because you can call a fair catch and someone else can catch it and run with it.
Yeah.
Well, don't challenge that with Iowa fans. Spencer Dalby under center. Again, the flex bone offense. They'll hand it off right off the gut. Left side stacked up nicely. But not after they pick up 5 there. Nice strong run up the middle for the Ottumwa Bulldogs.
This is a line that's pretty young. Big number 61, Lane Sexton at left tackle, 6 foot 245, just a sophomore. Really good block on the edge there, kind of helping that lane move itself just a little bit more, and good patience there by the back.
Sheriff Scott is that back that's lined up straight behind Dalby. So a little bit more size than maybe what we saw last week. Tyler Schoss and CJ Vance, the other two. This one will go to Vance. Vance takes the pitch outside. Flag comes in late. He picks up 10-15. but this one's going to come back on a hold.
We kind of saw that last week at Southeast Bowl. A couple plays worked out for Ottumwa, but boy, the laundry on the field was just so apparent. They're going to get that one on Charlie Morgan, junior offensive lineman.
And another look at it, you can kind of see that hold out there.
It's on the back end of
Charlie Morgan, that junior, and he was kind of dead to rights there. A little bit one of those where either your back gets blown up in the backfield if you don't hold, so you try and get away with it, but he was kind of no man's land and right in front of the official.
And that's what helped C.J. Vance at least get moving on the outside. So a hold that was effective, but a hold nonetheless.
Dalby once again under center. Vance will go in motion, but it's Sheriff Scott again stacked up, picks up 1 yard before being driven back, and just a slew of Wolves defensive players in on that tackle.
Most of the time what they depend on, or what Ottumwa depends on, is the center and the 2 guards having a really good push up front, because they're not really going to run in the far gaps between the tackles and the guards. So I don't know. It's just really interesting to see how that shapes out.
Well, 5 on the front right now waiting for Northwest. And then they've got 5 back in the defensive backfield and 1 linebacker. That's quite the look.
Well, they know they're probably not going to go, they ain't going too deep.
Dalby going to hand off to Scott once again. And again, he goes nowhere. Great job. That ball comes out, and they are going to rule it a fumble, and it's recovered by Waukee Northwest, and the last guy on the roster, Jackson Davis, the senior, comes up with it.
6'6", 205. He was kind of late in there, just kind of dropped into his lap.
Gets punched out last second, and just nothing Sheriff Scott could do to get it.
There were a couple flags that came in before the fumble even fell, but obviously on Ottumwa, probably just another hold. But
didn't offset anything. Heitland now rolling right, going short side, finally connects with Jordan Green, who he's been targeting a couple times. Green picks up 7 or 8. That'll leave, looks like 6 officially, so he's down at the 10.
C.J. Vance has kind of been everywhere. Defensively. He's one of the smallest guys on the field at 5'8", so no big, tall task, but he's just switching. He's on Green one play, and then he's on Oliver the next, just trying to keep these guys at bay here.
Keep an eye on that, as fatigue could set in eventually, too. We're still here in the first quarter, 21-0 Northwest. Heitland again in shotgun. Woodruff to his left. Heitland rolls to his left under some duress. He's going to take it back to the right, tuck it, and he's going to look for the end zone, and he gets a great block downfield and in for another. Northwest just dominating at home tonight.
Well, you said the block. Isaiah Oliver was in the end zone blocking all the way down, but they just couldn't wrap up. Mac Heitland's not really even a running quarterback. 17 carries, 40 yards, and a touchdown on the year, but there's just no one here on the near side. Everybody's looking downfield, and there's that really good block by Oliver in the end zone.
10-yard scamper officially for the touchdown from Mac Heitland, and he has been busy at work in Waukee Northwest, scoring in a plethora of ways so far tonight. The PAT once again up good. Snap hold looked good as well. That'll take us to break here. 28-0, 4:19 left in the first quarter. Ottumwa trailing big. Going to try and get a spark going when we come back.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Joe here with Westside Auto Pros. I know that sometimes your car can be inconsiderate and need work when you're short on cash. So here's what I'll do. When you get your car fixed at Westside Auto Pros, I'll loan you the money to pay for it. Whatever you want done, repairs, services, tires, you name it. Get your car back on the road and you won't even pay any interest for 90 days. My wife thinks I'm nuts.
No interest, Joe? Are you nuts?
Get your car fixed now and pay later only at Westside Auto Pros. You don't suppose she's right?
Northwest going to kick it off here. going left to right. Ottumwa back to return as that one's angled toward the sideline inside the 20. And once again, it's Herta slicing his way out to the 30. And some quick scores, Blake.
Southeast Polk over in Iowa City at Bates Field taking on the Little Hawks. Tied 7-7 at the end of the first quarter. Johnston and Ankeny in a first 1-10 match, still tied at 0 in the end of the first quarter. Valley and Ankeny Centennial tied at 7 apiece.
All righty, thank you for that. And you said a defensive slugfest between Ankeny and Johnston. It's love. Let's go tennis scores out there with it.
I tell you what, every single one of those games, I feel like Johnston in big upsets is low-scoring games, and that's exactly how Coach Woodley wants it every single time.
And we're going to get a flag on the field.
Legal substitution.
Did they have too many men break the huddle and then one sprint off?
Yeah, I believe that's what the call was. So that backs them up.
And before they even get started, they're back 5 yards. So 1st and 15 from the 26. Spencer Dalby, once again, takes the reins of the offense. He'll hand off to Sheriff Scott once again. No, keeps it. Nice little option play, and then the pitch out. Ball pops out once again, but it actually helps Ottumwa as it bounds another couple of yards out in front, and look who's on it, but Herta again.
I'm going to be completely 100% honest with you. I did not know where that ball was. I thought for sure they gave it to the fullback, and he was tackled in the backfield.
Sure looked like it to me, too.
Yeah, the ball fumbled forward, and, I mean, that's a gain of about 7 or 8.
Sign of a good play called.
Absolutely.
You know, again, they've been hammering inside the tackles, so I like the option play. It's kind of one of the traditions of that flex bone is running a triple option.
And especially Iowa high school football in general, if you can run the option well, you're pretty good because most teams these kids don't see it very often.
Well, Dalby's going to try and throw the lefty under duress once again, just chucks it up there. Is it hauled in? It looked like it was bobbled. And they are going to say it is picked off right on the sidelines. That's Elliot Combs, sorry.
That is the 10th interception of the year for Waukee Northwest. And that is 9 different players.
Another look at it here, and I thought he bobbled it going out of bounds. But they don't have review systems here. Combs brings it in, and then right at the sideline, I think he got both feet down as he hauled it. And that is the first turnover through the air tonight of this game.
It's a ball-hawking defense. I mean, and Ottumwa doesn't throw the ball very often, so just kind of one of those things that worked out.
Waukee Northwest going to go right back to the air. Heitland again finds his go-to, and Green, the junior. Green's been busy tonight.
It's a good mix. They're kind of going short, trying to go to the sticks, and then sometimes they'll throw a long ball. I felt like on that first drive, obviously it's scripted for the most part. A lot of deep, long field throws, but now just kind of keeping it in Mac Heitland's hands and getting back in rhythm a little bit.
Well, we know Isaiah Oliver's the big play guy. He averages 20 yards per catch, but Jordan Green is kind of their go-to. He leads the team in receptions. He's added a couple more tonight as Heitland drops back, looking deep one more time. Guess who? It's Green over the top. And that is a dandy of a 42-yard pitching catch. Jordan Green, his 8th touchdown on the year. Northwest, a PAT away from making it 35-zip.
Oh, there's two guys in the backfield, and Heitland, not really any pressure, sets his feet and just throws a really good ball all the way down the field. Oliver's a senior, Green's a junior. Green will be Oliver next year, really what this offense comes into. But, boy, it's a two-headed monster here on offense, especially with those two.
Well, and Mac Heitland just a junior, too. So, again, if you're Waukee Northwest and you're a fan out there, you got to like what you're seeing because they'll both be back. And I'm sure Corey Kapatich is loving seeing his team click on all cylinders as they tack on another PAT, 35-0, and it should be running clock when we come back after the Liam Mamatajic PAT here to put Northwest up ahead 5 scores.
Employee pricing plus extra DeArmond discounts at DeArmond Ford. New 2024 F-150s with over $20,000 off. Get a new Ford Bronco with $9,000 off plus 3.9% for 72 months. New Bronco Sports on sale for $37,990 plus 3.9% for 72 months. And new Super Duties with $10,000 off. Extra discounts on top of employee pricing. Only at DeArmond Ford, Indianola.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore. And if your old fireplace isn't giving you everything you want, you need to come see us so we can show you Heat & Glow's industry-leading gas fireplace inserts. A Heat & Glow gas insert will convert your old wood burner into a high-efficient gas fireplace that's easy to use and will warm your house. Come see us soon and get on the schedule for this winter's installations. For the best selection of fireplaces in the state of Iowa, come see Fireplace Superstore, just west of Homeacres on Douglas Avenue.
Mamatagic sent his left side of the field this time, and a little hesitation before finding a seam on the right side, cutting it back upfield and into positive territory. Great return by Tate Fruye, the junior linebacker at 5'9", weaved through a couple arm tackles, and Fruye just made it look a little bit easy there.
I mean, second time that's kind of worked. I mean, I don't know. Northwest might just want to start just kicking it deep again because I feel like he's already given it to him at about the 25-yard line, and then that's twice now they've kind of let him seep through the defense. And now Ottumwa gets to start on the opposite 50. So, I mean, I don't know. He might see a change up there.
Dalby and Co. at Northwest's 49-yard line. Settles in under 2:30 to play in the first quarter. Going to hand it off to Sheriff Scott again. Scott stacked up, but picks up a yard. Let's take another look at that touchdown if we have a second as well. Just beautifully done by our camera crew down on the field with Kobe, and another look at it over the top.
Yeah, it's just a nice play action fake and good patience by Heitland. As you can see, the two defenders back here are just kind of stuck behind, and Green just makes the most of it.
And again, Northwest should be able to get some second and third teamers into this game tonight if the pace continues and get some much-needed experience for a roster that will turn over some seniors next season. Dalby going to let that clock tick down a bit, under 5 on the play clock. A little reverse action. Vance stacked up and lassoed down in the backfield. Strong tackle by Brady Fitz.
About 6 or 7 black shirts right there in the backfield, and all the white shirts were still at the line of scrimmage. So that tells you all you need to know. And, I mean, just really good tackling all around. And with Hecko right there, big number 97, 6 foot 270. I mean, there's a tough group on defense.
And everywhere you look, they just swarm to the ball. And, again, Coach Kapadich had his team ready. You know, you get into this situation, you got a big one next week, and you almost wonder, is my team going to come out with the right fire in a game like this? And they certainly have, as we are a minute left in this first quarter of football. They'll fake the handoff back to passes Dalby, but he's got a just bunch of black uniforms waiting for him. He's sacked well behind the line. It's a 9-yard loss, and that'll bring up 4th and very, very, very long.
I mean, there were a herd of guys. Jackson Davis was in there. Really good on the edge position, by the way. Jackson's been so good tonight, and Dalby just kind of got twisted around. So, what? They're at the 40. That drive started at the opposite 49. That tells you all you need to know. Northwest defense still humming here.
Again, Jackson Davis, 6'6", 205, athletic 6'6" defensive end. As we get ready for the punt here, coming your way from Dawson Weller. Just a junior. He boots that one away low and hard. That's going to hop, skip, and a jump. Down inside the 20 once again, and 6 seconds left in the first quarter. And Northwest will start once again deep in their own territory. That'll be the end of the first quarter here on CISN. 35-0 Northwest leading Ottumwa as we head to quarter number 2. Wolves looking to build on a big one here in this first set Friday of October.
What if you could make a priceless difference in your community for as little as $5? With the Des Moines Catholic Worker House, you can. For nearly 50 years, the Des Moines Catholic Worker House has given the homeless and low-income community a place to feel welcomed. With your support, We could turn 3,000 free meals each month into 4,000. We could build a brand new warming and cooling center in our future facility. We could provide more hygiene products, more clothing, and more hope to those who need it most. Feed the hungry, clothe a neighbor, and spread your generosity throughout Des Moines by scanning the QR code on the screen right now. Donate online via PayPal or mail a check to make a priceless difference in your community today. Thank you so much for your support.
We're back here live from Northwest High School in Waukee. Wolves with a commanding first quarter lead, 35-0. Recapping the scoring, it all opened with a 98-yard touchdown kickoff return from Isaiah Oliver, the 5-yard run by Woodruff, and then Tabungi got in from 8. Mac Heitland had a 10-yard run, and then the latest to happen, 42-yard pitch and catch. Heitland to Jordan Green made it 35-0, and Northwest looking to do some more damage. Fakes the handoff, little play action, going to go back to Green. Green with some space down the sidelines, gets knocked out of bounds. Sorry, that wasn't Green. Mixed up my numbers at Michael Dunnigan, the senior. Shout out to my call partner on that one.
Just a simple little dump off here, and Ottumwa's playing not the flat. I mean, they're not playing up on the flat right now. They're kind of sitting back in zone because they know they can go deep, but then if you play up like you did, then you get beat going deep.
Heitland's going to continue to air the ball out, rolls out to his right, looking deep once again. Once again goes to the big man, Michael Dunnigan. Dunnigan hauled down inside the 15 to the 14, and Northwest in striking distance again.
Boy, he had Jordan Green on a comeback route, but instead he decides to take the long route to Michael Dunnigan, and just a little bit of a wobbler in the air, but boy, it works out, gets over top of the two corners, and Northwest humming inside the Metro Heating and Cooling red zone.
Chris Moore with the touchdown-saving tackle along the sidelines. Then I'd imagine they go back to the ground. Tabungi is the back right now. Already has one touchdown on the night with an 8-yard touchdown run in the first quarter. So out of the shotgun. Rolling left, Heitland. Throwing back corner, a little too strong out there. He's trying to get all of his receivers in the end zone tonight. That one out of reach of Dunnigan. That's the next target on his list.
And really, I mean, it's just kind of, that's really been his only bad throws to the corner of the end zone. And those are always the toughest. So, I mean, all things considering, obviously, you have a chance to get those picked if the corner throws them long. So, still pretty impressed by Heitland so far. And the only downside for Northwest, first downs at about, what, the 3-yard line?
Yeah, he's looked really sharp tonight. And to be honest, I'd be curious to see how defenses try to contain him as he goes out left once again. This time it is to Green. Green with the seam. Gets smoked out of bounds. Swirled. He reached for the pylon. They'll give him the touchdown. What an effort by Jordan Green for his second of the night.
It's just a little bit of a jailbreak. It's a jailbreak screen pretty much for the most part. He had really good blocking down the field, and boy, I mean, just really good. You're going to see it here on the camera. Realistically, should be blown up.
Comes right into your living room there and just outreaches that left
hand,
arm. Yeah. What an effort by Jordan Green.
Hands what did it. If he hit the pylon, that's enough, and he clearly wasn't out by the time he got there. So,
Mamutagic in for the extra point once again, 42-0, as that's through the uprights. And a lot to celebrate on that Northwest Wolves sidelines. They have a big lead over Ottumwa here on CISN. We'll be right back.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Western lets your UTV power through the storm. The Impact V Plow and Impact Straight Blade, with the features the pros demand. Custom tailored for your UTV. And to keep your work top-notch, rely on the Tornado UTV Hopper Spreader. Now that's a job well done. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
Well, Waukee Northwest on homecoming night last week put up 63 against Des Moines East. They're only 21 points away from matching that number here against Ottumwa. And we sit with just under 10 minutes left in the first half still to play. Blake, I think safe to say Northwest is number one ranked in the state for a reason. We're seeing just how effective this offense is through the air. You know, no slouches their run game either, but Heitland really is a game changer under center.
Yeah, he is, and we haven't really even seen the run game. I mean, the run game's nothing to tout. I mean, it's quite a good run game, all things considering. So if a team, you know, they have two very tough tests. Really, there are two remaining tests out in the year with Southeast Polk next week, big road game, and then they get the rival Waukee at home. That's just an emotional game. Everybody's going to be high up in arms. Crowd's going to be insane. We'll be here for that one. Then they end it with Norwalk. But they've taken care of business when they've needed to. They've beaten the teams, Ankeny and Valley, by, I think, just a combined 5 points. They've made things work.
Scott gets the handoff, bounces it off the right side, stacked up once again. First guy there to meet him. Well, there's a handful of them there, but first guy to meet him, it looked like in that mix was 34 for Waukee Northwest, Austin Van Horn, the senior linebacker.
Worth noting, Waukee Northwest did not try the kicks that they had before, decided to send it deep. And anytime they don't have to give up that field position, they're not going to. Now, granted, Ottumwa has punted the ball pretty well tonight, but if you can push them back further, you set yourself up better on offense.
Ottumwa now 2nd and 8 from the 22. Some pressure off the right side. Dalby under duress, and he's going to be sacked in the backfield. Just a great effort once again by the big man in Jackson Davis.
I mean, his speed for being 6'6", it's quite unbelievable. And really, what we haven't seen him do that I'm sure he can do, he's got to be tough for smaller quarterbacks to get over the line of scrimmage because he's so tall, he's just able to get across.
I'm not sure how you miss him as a blocking assignment there. He went untouched straight to Dalby, and Dalby was just, at that point, going to assume the fetal position and take the loss because that's about a 5-yard loss on the play for 3rd and 13. Ottumwa.
And for like next week, Southeast Polk probably arguably the best O-line that they're going to face all year. How do they compete against that athletically?
Sheriff Scott, big pickup, hit the seam, and he's going to be right out to the 30 for the first down of the night for the Bulldogs. No hankies on the field, and that's a big positive there if you're a Bulldogs fan.
Well, their previous first down was a penalty, so, I mean, just really nice running up the middle, and Northwest, I think, was kind of prepared for a pass, but when you've been running it all night, why not go for it?
First drive for the Bulldogs to make it into a new set of downs, if I recall. Dalby's going to let that clock tick under 10 on the play clock. Scott again right up the heart of that offense, and he's going to keep the legs churning. Picks up another 7 yards. Strong running here from Sheriff Scott.
Yeah, the holes are working in the middle, and he's able to get things pushing just a little bit. Now he's unfortunately got caught up under a leg, limping very heavily.
Yeah, and that's one of those he's going to have to come out. I'd say take a seat and we're going to get a whistle there. I think his ankle got twisted up.
I cannot believe he's still trying to walk on it.
Tough young man out there. Again, senior fullback, 5'10", 190, plays linebacker as well.
I haven't even been paying attention if the clock's been running as it should, I think, for the most part.
It has, yep. Sheriff this season only had 8 carries coming into the game. 49 yards, averaging 6 a carry. Spencer Dalby as we get a false start on Ottumwa. Dalby's primarily handed the ball off to Tyler Schoss and C.J. Vance. Vance averaging 6.3 per carry. Schoss has had 77 carries and leads the backfield with 317. Again, you said in the pregame show, only 6 completions this year for the Bulldogs offense. 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Make it 4 interceptions with tonight's pick by Combe.
Coming into the season, there was some excitement because we talked about it last week. 7-2 regular season last year. They unfortunately became the first ever team in the RPI system to miss the playoffs at 7-2. But
Dalby dumps it off over the middle, just out of reach once again. CJ Vance was open.
He was open too. Probably maybe could have gone.
If he has a half second, I think that an extra half second, Dalby probably puts it on the money there. It's a good little formation. Keep an eye on coming back to that one as it's 3rd and 8 now for the Bulldogs.
I mean, 7-2 last year. You start 3-1 this year. You feel like things are kind of working out, but we're on this 2-year schedule thing, so the schedule wasn't the same as last year, and they throw in a couple of Central Iowa teams, and they've just really struggled in this part of the schedule.
Dalby hands off again, but just no running room out there for this Bulldogs team, and that time I think it was Schoss.
Now, I will say, on October 16th, Thursday night game at MediaCom, they do play Roosevelt. I think it can be a pretty fun game, all things considered.
And Iowa City High on there to round out their regular season. That one should also be a good contest between two teams that, City High, I think if you asked their head coach right now, he'd say they've underachieved vastly compared to where he expects them to be.
And I'm not really sure how the schedule worked out like it, but 4 out of the remaining 5 games are road games. It's quite interesting how that was set up for Ottumwa.
Ottumwa gets the punt away. That one's drifting high and out of bounds. And I'll make a quick point to that, Blake. You think about Ottumwa, they're probably they're in a little bit of a dead zone, so to speak. And that's not a knock on the town of Ottumwa by any means. It's just, it is a haul for teams to get there. So I think their mindset is probably get their home games scheduled, then go on the road, just kind of, so there's not a lot of back and forth yo-yoing in their calendar.
And too big of a school in that area to play the likes of Fairfield, Washington, Keokuk. I mean, it's just not a thing. Could they realistically go play the Cedar Rapids schools? Yes, but they kind of rope them into this one. Not to mention that's what you're part of the Iowa Alliance League. I mean, that's just how it is with those schools.
So now Heitland stays under center. Big handoff here right up the gut. That carry by Corbin Smith-Fitzgerald. Big gain there.
He got about 3 yards past the line of scrimmage before there was even a lineman in the vicinity. I mean, Northwest, great blocking up front.
Yeah, the yards before contact there, big time for Smith-Fitzgerald. And they'll go back to the air, though. Heitland looking deep one more time, right down the heart of the defense. Hauled in and into the end zone one more time. Why not Jordan Green? Have yourself a night, young man. 3 touchdowns. This one, an absolute dot of a 53-yarder.
It's a great throw. It's a great catch. It's one-on-one, and Jordan just kind of boxes out his corner and just out-jumps him. Really nicely done by Jordan Green. But you said it, it was Isaiah Oliver to start with the kick return and everything else, and then Jordan Green gets the ball. I mean, this is just a team full of weapons on the offensive side.
And we still haven't hit halftime yet, and we're about to be 49-0 after the PAT by Mamutagic. Up and through, and that'll send us to break. 49-0. Jordan Green, a career night, I'm going to assume, with 3 touchdowns this evening. He has done a little bit of everything after the pitch and catch from Mac Heitland. We'll be right back on CISN.
What if you could make a priceless difference in your community for as little as $5? With the Des Moines Catholic Worker House, you can. For nearly 50 years, the Des Moines Catholic Worker House has given the homeless and low-income community a place to feel welcomed. With your support, we could turn 3,000 free meals each month into 4,000. We could build a brand new warming and cooling center in our future facility. We could provide more hygiene products, more clothing, and more hope to those who need it most. Feed the hungry, clothe a neighbor, and spread your generosity throughout Des Moines by scanning the QR code on the screen right now. Donate online via PayPal or mail a check to make a priceless difference in your community today. Thank you so much for your support.
Kickoff is a touchback. Jordan Green, as our camera was on him after the touchdown celebration, gets tapped on the shoulder and mentioned, "You're done for the night, young man." And why not? I mean, another look at this touchdown pass. What a dime by Heitland.
He doesn't really step into it. I mean, he just kind of off his two legs, takes it and makes it work, and it's just been that kind of night for Northwest. Really looking good here.
Coming into the night, Jordan Green receiving, had 7 touchdowns, had the 3 he's had tonight through the air, and he's up to 10. That's a team best.
Well, and realistically, you put your best corner on Isaiah Oliver. So unless you got 2 really good corners, ball's out.
Ball's out one more time. I think Ottumwa gets back on it. Nice job by Tyler Schoss. Senior fullback. He's kind of been on the end of that flex bone. Now he's moved back to the backfield with the injury again to Sheriff Scott, who hobbled his way to the sideline a drive ago.
When you look at next week's opponent for Waukee Northwest, Southeast Polk, very big on the line. They're bigger than Northwest is on the line. And that seems crazy to say, but they are. And corner-wise, I mean, Southeast Polk has really prided themselves on very good defensive cornerbacks, obviously with Xavier Wampa and whatnot. So I think it's a fun matchup setting up.
Got a completion there. C.J. Vance on the reception, and great little dart there by Dalby.
Nice short little pitch and catch. They've been trying to get it to C.J. a couple times tonight. He is their playmaker. Going into last week, he was their leading receiver. It just didn't have to work out.
With the score the way it is, I should mention it is a full running clock. Nothing stops it other than an injury or timeout.
Northwest still has their primary defense still in, first teamers.
Dalby once again under center. Triple option, flex bone as they call it. They'll pitch out to Vance. Vance trying to find space. Nice job sealing off the edge there by Elliott Combe. Again, the senior had a pick earlier. He seals up from the corner perspective there and drives Vance back to the inside. One more look at it here, and this is just textbook defense. I mean, already in pursuit there was Jackson Davis, but his job was made a little bit easier.
Northwest came into tonight with 30 tackles for loss. I mean, that's quite the stat. 9 sacks. I mean, their offense is just so fun to watch, and it's really the highlight of the team, but you don't have such a good offense without defense getting you the ball back.
Well, after the nice little pass on first down, it is going to be another Ottumwa punt. Gets away, high spiral, and out of bounds. I think they'll mark that around the 46. See where they settle it. They're going to take it 50 past it into Ottumwa territory once again, down to the 44. And we'll keep it here. Minute 40 or so. See if they can punch it in, but we are going to get a change at quarterback as well. Emmett Borgman, the junior, 6'2". He steps in, and this is his first action of the season.
Yeah, first time. Obviously, when you're the same class as Mac Heitland, you're probably not playing unless it's of a situation like this or unfortunate injury, but possibly get some good snaps here.
Does have 3 carries and a touchdown as that one's bobbled and just going to stay on a knee, and that's not how he wants to start there. That clock keeps ticking. But, yeah, 3 carries, 27 yards, 1 touchdown on the year for Emmett Borgman, who I think wisely steps in for Mac Highland, who's done more than enough tonight in this situation, get him rested up and ready for a Southeast Polk team next week who's got a little bit of a battle on their hands with Iowa City High.
Tied at 7 at the end of the first quarter, so we'll check those at halftime. But, yeah, it's – Northwest has done their job here in the first half. I mean, this is exactly what they needed to have happen. Never really once have they felt like they've been up against the wall. A kick return on the opening play will help you out.
Hand off to Tabungi. He's got a hold, goes right up the middle, and he's going to keep the legs churning once again down to the 30. Strong run from the sophomore. I've been impressed by him in his handful of carries he's had tonight.
I mean, the burst. He's so fast, but we just don't see him very often. But, man, he has burners, and I think it's going to catch a lot of guys off guard.
They'll hand it off one more time as that clock ticks under, and I think that'll take us down to the end of this half as there's just not enough time to get any more plays in. But I think if you're Waukee, you're more than okay with it. They're trying to get a snap in, but I don't think they will. As that'll tick to the end of the second quarter, we go into halftime. Waukee Northwest up big, 49-0 on the Ottumwa Bulldogs here at Northwest High School Field in Waukee. We'll be right back. John Schaefer, Blake Walker on CISN.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore. And if your old fireplace isn't giving you everything you want, you need to come see us so we can show you Heat & Glow's industry-leading gas fireplace inserts. A Heat & Glow gas insert will convert your old wood burner into a high-efficient gas fireplace that's easy to use and will warm your house. Come see us soon and get on the schedule for this winter's installations. For the best selection of fireplaces in the state of Iowa, come see Fireplace Superstore, just west of Homeacres on Douglas Avenue.
Joe here with Westside Auto Pros. I know that sometimes your car can be inconsiderate and need work when you're short on cash. So here's what I'll do. When you get your car fixed at Westside Auto Pros, I'll loan you the money to pay for it. Whatever you want done, repairs, services, tires, you name it. Get your car back on the road and you won't even pay any interest for 90 days. My wife thinks I'm nuts.
No interest, Joe? Are you nuts?
Get your car fixed now and pay later only at Westside Auto Pros. You don't suppose she's right?
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Employee Pricing Plus at DeArmond Automotive Knoxville. 2025 Ram 1500s with up to $15,000 off. Incredible offers on the 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee with up to $9,000 off. And new Jeep Wranglers with up to $8,500 off. And save on a new Chevy Silverado 1500 with over $12,000 off. Employee Pricing Plus. Save big now at DeArmond Automotive in Knoxville, Iowa.
Hello and welcome to a halftime volleyball segment here, talking about CIML volleyball here in the Metro. It's been a fun week of action. We're getting much closer to the postseason. Let's take a look at your top 15 rankings from the IGHSAU. Waukee Northwest is still the number one team for really no reason why they shouldn't be. They have beaten everyone that they've played this season. The Wolves have looked really good. Only loss coming to Waukee, and that was in tournament play. They ended up avenging that loss anyway in a best-of-5 match. Ankeny Centennial sits at the number 2 position. Waukee drops to 3rd. Ankeny is at the number 4 spot. So once again, the two schools that have split in the last 15 years make up 1 through 4. Pleasant Valley, your defending state champions, find themselves in the 5th spot. Dowling Catholic is at 6th, and Valley sits in the 7th position. Iowa City Liberty is 8th. Iowa City West is 9th, and Cedar Falls round out your top 10. Remember, top 8 in rankings, when the postseason regions come out, they get home court advantage through the postseason. Bettendorf is at 11th. Waterloo West is 12th. Indianola back into the top 15 at 13th. Dubuque Hempstead is 14th, and Sioux City East round out your top 15. Sioux City East and Hempstead, both new teams to the rankings as well. Let's talk about some of the games that we saw on Tuesday night, September 30th. A very fun night of volleyball. We'll start out with one that we had on the Central Iowa Sports Network. Valley defeated Johnston 3-0, 25-12, 26-24, 25-19. Very strong win for Valley over the Johnston Dragons. I had a chance to sit down with Coach Mike Sill of the Valley Tigers. Here's an interview talking about the Tigers' season and what they look forward to going into the postseason. Here with Coach Mike Sill of the Valley Tigers. Coach, thanks for joining us here. You guys are on a little bit of a roll here. You've won 6 out of your last 8. Your only losses are to the number 1 and number 2 team in the state. And Ankeny Centennial, you took to 5. You have the second hardest schedule rank in the state, according to Bound, and that's across the entire state of Iowa. What has this season taught you as we start to head toward the end of it, till we get to the postseason? You have a couple seniors, but really this has been, you've kind of flown under the radar all year, really.
Yeah, I would like to think that the radar, I mean, it's just, there's a lot of really good teams, and we saw them early and often. Yeah, we had a tough schedule, but I think a lot of it has to do with the CIML just being loaded. You know, there's not many conference matches you go into with an expectation that you're going to walk out in 3. So that really tests us a lot. And I think early on, we had a pretty brutal weekend tournament schedule. I mean, we were hosting the top, 2 of 5 teams in the state. And I think you get through all that and, we come out with a winning record. That was kind of something I was looking for. So, yeah, I don't think a lot of people were noticing just how close we were. I think Waukee, we took them to 3 in our tournament. The 5-set match at Ankeny Centennial. I mean, there's just some learning things that, we experienced that just make us better.
When you talk about the CIML, obviously it is very competitive, but right now, 5, 6 of those CIML teams are favored to go to the state tournament. Does the constant that you're always playing each other, just nonstop, do you think that benefits, or does that kind of hurt a couple things when you get to these later postseason games and it's like, we've seen this team like 5 times, 4 times, does that step up, and does that maybe give an advantage to Eastern Iowa schools of any sort?
I don't think so. I think these schools, we keep learning from each other. We figure out weaknesses and all that kind of stuff. But it's not about scouting the opponent so much as it is like, hey, they just exploited something we need to get better at. So we get back in the gym and we work. And the whole steel sharpens steel kind of mentality, I do feel that we're fortunate to be in the CIML. That tough schedule makes us better. So I think that's something when I think about the future, when we're looking at our postseason, I feel like a lot of these, like you said, the top 6 teams are going to be playing a lot of Eastern schools, it looks like. And I think that's just going to be to our benefit.
Talk about your team a little bit. Obviously, you have a couple senior leaders. Thea Reardon's one of them. And then you have a sophomore that's top 5 in service aces in Mila Rude. Talk about that, first of all. How good is that to have a girl that can come up and can get you a couple service aces? 38 on the season. I mean, that's no slouch. How big has that been in those moments?
We've just really been touting our serve and pass. We like to think our first contact is super important. And so we work a lot on it. We're tracking speed, we're tracking location. We do this in practice a lot. So they just get really comfortable with it. And Mila, she has kind of a funky serve. She serves from a different zone that a lot of people don't. And it has been working really well for those outside hitters that are coming off, and we're targeting them in a way that makes it real tough for them to pass and then have good options to hit. So, she's in the right place at the right time when her number's called to go back and serve. And, we've been fortunate. She's been able to hit those zones real well. And only a sophomore, I mean, she's still learning when we're in practice. So
we recap, or we end the season here next week, regular season wise. You end with Waukee, big game. They have a big one tonight as we record this on Thursday against Dowling. They've technically dropped their last 2 against Northwest and Centennial. How important is that final game of the year, just to say, all right, here's one last chance before we get to the postseason and just get things straightened out?
I mean, it's a measuring stick for us. I mean, we've had some scores at the beginning of the year I look at, and then I think, hey, when we get another chance to play Waukee, let's see how much better we are. We know they're going to improve. The expectation is we are, but just a little bit more. So we're excited to get to play them. I know we're going to be at Johnston at I think the 18th of October, and they'll be there as well. So we'll have them twice on our schedule. And like I said before, getting to play those kind of top teams who have big outsides, big right sides, they're a very loaded team. If we can go in there and be competent, it just really sets us up for a good postseason.
Coach, I appreciate your time, and I wish you guys the best of luck here as we go to the postseason.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Taking a look at other scores from the CIML, Southeast Polk defeated Urbandale 3-1, a 25-16, 25-16, 23-25. Urbandale won the third set, but then Southeast Polk finished the job 25-16. Ankeny gets beat by Dowling in Dowling Catholic. It's a top 5 win for the Maroons. A very strong showing, 3-1, 21-25. Lost the first set, but then came back and won the next 3, 25-20, 25-22, and 25-17. The big one of the night, Ankeny Centennial took on Waukee, and Ankeny Centennial took home the win. They fell short 20-25 in the first set, but then just dominated. The scores look close, but dominated Waukee in the final 3, 25-21, 25-22, and 25-12. Waukee had beaten Ankeny. They'd taken care of business, But they lose out on the win against Centennial. And when we're thinking of the postseason, it's basically you don't want to have to play Waukee Northwest until the championship game. Right now, those two teams, Ankeny, Centennial, Waukee, would still avoid Waukee Northwest. It'd be the 4, Ankeny, but Centennial does take second over Waukee in the latest rankings. It's been a fun week of volleyball as the postseason is right around the corner. We can't wait to bring it to you.
Western lets your UTV power through the storm. The Impact V-Plow and Impact Straight Blade, with the features the pros demand. Custom tailored for your UTV. And to keep your work top-notch, rely on the Tornado UTV Hopper Spreader. Now that's a job well done. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Thank you for tuning into today's broadcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our live events. You can also follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram in the description below for more coverage of Central Iowa high school sports and the Des Moines Menace. Now, back to the game.
Northwest High School Football Stadium, home of the Waukee Northwest Wolves, and beautiful halftime show, and once again a lot to celebrate for the Wolves faithful in the 49-0 lead here against Ottumwa. Let's recap really quick how we got here. It started with the opening kickoff. Took 14 seconds for Isaiah Oliver to go 98 yards to the house, make it 7-0. From there, after a quick punt, a 5-yard Woodruff run made it 14-0. Tabungi punched it in from 8 to make it 21-zip. Then Mac Highland found his legs moving and grooving. 28-0 just like that. Then to the air they went. 3 straight touchdowns. Heitland to Jordan Green, the first for 42 yards, second for 12, and then why not the 53-yard bomb to cap off the scoring in the first half. That's how we find ourselves with the Wolves ahead, 49-0 once again. Blake, any quick thoughts on that?
I mean, all things considering, you and I called Ottumwa Southeast Polk last week, and what was the score at halftime of that one?
49-0.
49-0. So it's really kind of the same thing that we've seen. I mean, Northwest, Ottumwa is Ottumwa. Obviously, the team isn't built to be able to go against these teams here in the CIML. We've seen that. It's just kind of been one of those times, and the size, everything else to go against it. But Northwest has done exactly what they've needed to do here in the first half. Yes, they look really strong, but if you can come away and be like, yeah, Northwest is the number one team, it's like, okay, well, in that case, Southeast Polk must be pretty good too. So, again, nothing against this. I think both teams, or Northwest is very, very, very solid, and we've seen that with an offense like this. But it's just kind of hard to gauge in games like this, but they've still been very, very impressive. This is a very fun offense to watch. Southeast Polk used a punt return, a little bit more defense, but you know, I compare those two because next week they play, and that's going to be a big one. But Mac Heitland's been just as advertised. We knew that he was going to be really solid as he got older. Last year we saw him grow as a sophomore, and I think he was even a freshman when he started, if I'm not mistaken. So he's been a part of the ringer here, and now we get to see him just a little bit more, and he shined tonight.
If you missed that first half, you won't see Mac Heitland in the second half, as we saw Emmett Borgman come in late there and finish off that last drive of the half for Waukee Northwest. Let's take a look around the rest of the CIML and some scores in Central Iowa as well. Council Bluffs Abe Lincoln up on Ames 21-7. I know that's Ames homecoming, not the outcome they're looking for tonight. They'll need a big comeback if they want to make that one competitive. Dowling Catholic up on Cedar Rapids Kennedy in the second quarter, 17-0. Iowa City Liberty leading Davenport Central 38-0. Didn't really expect anything different out of that one. You got any more over there for me, partner?
Waterloo West currently defeating Dallas Center Grimes 13-7, 6:12 to go in the second quarter. Wanted to talk about just Dallas Center Grimes real quick because we see RPI next week, John. Dallas Center Grimes, one quality win over Waukee right now. But Waukee, not quite quality because they're not going to be in the top 6 team when this RPI drops. Dallas Center Grimes, realistically, all things considering, should win out. They should go 8-1. But they have to win this game. If they lose to Waterloo West, especially with their schedule, boy, we just saw it with an Ottumwa team. 7-2 doesn't get you in. Now, I do think Dallas Center Grimes can maybe go 6-3 and still get in. But they still have Kennedy left on the schedule. It's not all sunshine and rainbows the rest of the way for the Mustangs. But, boy, they have to take care of business tonight against Waterloo West. The good thing about the RPI, John, there is no eye test. It's literally just numbers. So, if you win this game 21-20, guess what?
14-13.
Yeah, nobody cares. I mean, it's a win in the win column. But still, it can't make them feel good considering how good these opponents are going to be in the playoffs.
Also worth mentioning, Newton and Pella, good little rivalry over there. Newton leading the Dutch 21-14 currently.
Ankeny and Johnston tied at 7. There was a kick blocked by Ankeny at the end of the half, taken back for 6 to tie that thing up in the defensive battle. Valley leads Ankeny Centennial 17-7 over at Valley Stadium. It's getting fun. I mean, you got a couple mixed-in matchups. Everybody kind of working their way through the schedule. I love that we're seeing more Eastern Iowa, Central Iowa games this year. I like that with this new scheduling, and it's fun. I cannot wait for the RPI next week because then we really got something to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. The RPI is what matters, folks, for those playoff teams. Where they land is all dependent on how you do. You can't really afford to falter, and truthfully, your schedule does make a huge difference.
Yes.
We saw it with the Ottumwa last year at 7-2, missing out on the playoffs, and something to consider for these schools as we move forward.
And honestly, it's crazy to think, but you root for teams more in the RPI system than you ever have before. Because say if you're Waterloo or if you're Waukee Northwest, you win this game, you're going to get away with it. You actually would prefer to see Ottumwa win a couple games here down the stretch because that just helps you. If Ottumwa loses out the rest of the year and goes 3-6. It's not a great win by any means.
Or in the case of DCG, if you can get away tonight and win out, you're only lost to Dowling. You want them to win out too because that just bolsters your standing.
And a win against Waukee, they would love nothing more than for Waukee to upset Waukee Northwest.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tease ahead to what we've got on tap next week. Some great games. I know you're eyeing up Waukee at Dowling, Indianola at Centennial as well here on CISN. And then the WOI Game of the Week is back out at Southeast Polk. And it's this Northwest Wolves team that'll go visit the Rams. Both of these teams have played Ottumwa now. We've seen both of them back-to-back weeks, and that is the one I'd circle on my calendar as the one to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Trent Condon's going to be on the call, that one here for Central Iowa Sports Network, and it's a big one. I mean, Northwest is going to be tested these next 2 weeks, but then after that, they should be able to take care of the rest of the schedule with Norwalk, and then they look ahead to the postseason. This is a team that has aspirations to go to the Dome, but to win a championship with the roster that they have, these are 2 make-or-break-it weeks, especially against the 4-time defending champs.
And for the Rams, a chance to make a statement and knock off the #1 team in the state as well, because we know they're looking for the 5-peat. 4 straight state titles for them in the biggest class in the state for the Rams, and they snuck up on everyone last year. Certainly have the ability to do it again this year.
Well, and they found a quarterback.
Yes.
I think we saw that last week with Bailey. So, I mean, Southeast Polk, they have the offense to do it. They have a very talented running back that can also get it done, and an O-line, and a D-line, and a defense that's really solid as well. Circle it. You're going to want to watch next week. It's going to be a fun one on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
A lot of great games on tap. We'll conclude the second half of action out here at Northwest as the Wolves take the field for half number 2. We'll get you going here with kickoff to half number 2 as well in just a bit on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Joe here with Westside Auto Pros. I know that sometimes your car can be inconsiderate and need work when you're short on cash. So here's what I'll do. When you get your car fixed at Westside Auto Pros, I'll loan you the money to pay for it. Whatever you want done, repairs, services, tires, you name it. Get your car back on the road and you won't even pay any interest for 90 days. My wife thinks I'm nuts.
No interest, Joe? Are you nuts?
Get your car fixed now and pay later only at Westside Auto Pros. You don't suppose she's right?
Employee Pricing Plus at DeArmond Automotive, Knoxville. 2025 Ram 1500s with up to $15,000 off. Incredible offers on the 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee with up to $9,000 off. And new Jeep Wranglers with up to $8,500 off. And save on a new Chevy Silverado 1500 with over $12,000 off. Employee Pricing Plus. Save big now at DeArmond Automotive in Knoxville, Iowa.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore. And if your old fireplace isn't giving you everything you want, you need to come see us so we can show you Heat & Glow's industry-leading gas fireplace inserts. A Heat & Glow gas insert will convert your old wood burner into a high-efficient gas fireplace that's easy to use and will warm your house. Come see us soon and get on the schedule for this winter's installations. For the best selection of fireplaces in the state of Iowa, come see Fireplace Superstore, just west of Homeacres on Douglas Avenue.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Not much of a halftime warm-up as we see Coach Kapanich getting things ready here for half number 2, and it'll be the Wolves kicking it away to Ottumwa to start the second half. It'll be a running clock, 12-minute quarters. As we sit 49-0, John Schaefer with Blake Walker. The dynamic duo that is weekly, it seems like, here on Central Iowa Sports Network. Always good to be back out here on a Friday night, though it doesn't feel like a fall Friday here in the state of Iowa.
It kind of makes me sad. It just really does. When I came here, I'm like, man, it's October 3rd. Shout out Mean Girls. It's October 3rd, and it's just, it feels, it's summer. I mean,
I think it was colder for our season opener with Valley Dowling.
We got that false fall, and it's just been heat. But next week does look better.
Get some rain here, according to our latest forecasts. But yeah, fall is in the air. It's pumpkin spice season, and it sure doesn't feel like I should have a pumpkin spice latte.
I saw people, my friends were like, yeah, I think we're going to hit up a pumpkin patch. I'm like, I need it to go below 50 to go to a pumpkin patch.
I need some frost on the ground first.
I was like, I am not going to a pumpkin patch.
Well, and those biting gnats, those really nasty ones that get you, those have been out like crazy. So I'm ready for a first frost as we kick off half number 2. That ball is going to carry all the way to the end zone. This is not the NFL where you have to field it in the end zone, as Caleb Johnston found out back in, week 2 for the Steelers?
Yeah, surprised he wasn't cut. He's lucky
he's basically been cut. I don't think he's had a carry.
Something like that. Obviously, continuous clock here in the second half.
Once we get the first snap underway. Of course, it's also playoff baseball, but no games tonight.
I watched so much. I think I watched every minute of every game yesterday. I was at the gym watching the first game, back home watching the last 2 while watching the football game on Thursday.
Great time of year where just about all 4 of the 5 major sports overlap as we get the first run of the half.
I see Sheriff Scott. He came hopping out of the locker room on one leg. Poor kid didn't have any scratches. He just hopped the whole way. No uniform, no nothing on, so no Sheriff Scott here in the second half.
Tough guy. That means Schoss will be the fullback in the backfield. And senior fullback has really carried the bulk of the carries, I should say. But yeah, it's that time of year. We've got playoff baseball right in the heart of college football and NFL. And then WNBA finals.
Yep.
And then also hockey season drops the puck next week too. Thank goodness golf's over.
We should be having our, is it solstice? What do they call the day where like everything happens in one day?
Oh yeah, the sports solstice
should be coming
or whatever
up
it is.
in the end of October here with
because NBA starts up too. Yeah,
22nd is the first night of the NBA.
As long as it's amazing how late the Major League Baseball playoffs start. Like I remember October watching those runs, but now it's just like, man, they play into November practically, and
crazy.
I'd love to see them shorten up the baseball season. I know there are a lot of traditionalists out there, but make it a 120-game season and shorten it up a little bit.
I hope they don't change the Iowa high school football season. I really liked ending the week before Thanksgiving. I've always thought that's great, and the way the playoffs are.
Dalby with the pass. Just too far ahead there for C.J. Vance. And, you know, it's funny you bring that up. I remember a handful of years ago I had family down in Texas, and we went down for the Christmas break. And they play their state championships like the Friday and Saturday before Christmas.
Crazy. But when they're so big.
Right.
And the COVID year, I think we might have started a week late, but obviously everybody made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Everybody got a chance, kind of like basketball, and then obviously only the top 16, 32 made the postseason, but it was a little bit different.
2-minute drive for Ottumwa leads to a punt, nearly blocked as that one is skied high. And then Northwest player gets blocked into the return man.
Good thing that wasn't a flag. It shouldn't have been anyway.
No, I mean, that's just a man play right there. It looked like, who was that? Devin Amison was blocking the blocker into the returner. And now we'll get another look once again at Emmett Borgman, who handed the ball off primarily. His back this time, Corbin Smith-Fitzgerald.
It was a halfback draw. I think every single play was a halfback draw. So obviously dropped that first one. He was kind of working on snaps here before he got the offense back out on the field. But these are crucial reps for these guys.
Smith-Fitzgerald hits the Jets, tries to shed a tackle. Nice job out in space. That was a lovely tackle by Chris Moore.
And Corbin just kind of fits into his role. I mean, a senior running back, 16 carries coming into tonight, 53 yards. Nothing crazy, but, I mean, we haven't really even called Ryan Woodruff's name tonight because he really hasn't been needed.
No, he did have the 5-yard touchdown run to make it 14-0, and they'll hand it off to Corbin again, this time stacked up, though, at the line. Big number 98, or 88, sorry, Jackson Songer is the one to bring him down, junior linebacker. And again, you know, these are important reps. You mentioned it for Northwest. These are also important reps for Ottumwa here to get, again, try and build some confidence, take some positives away in the second half. Maybe go try and win a quarter on the scoreboard if you can. Borgman now out of the shotgun. Hands it off once again, right up the gut. And that will be a Northwest first down. Another strong run, and this time it's Paolo Tabungi. We saw the speed earlier in this game from him on his little 8-yard scamper, and then at the end of the half, too. The kid's just explosive.
I give it about 2 plays. He's going to break one here to the end zone. I mean, my goodness. He's just waiting for that hole in the defense.
This one, 1st and 10 from the 29. Tabungi going to bounce it on the left side. You see the speed there as the linebacker just couldn't quite track him down. Once again, that's Josh Lee.
It wasn't bad, though. I mean, moving left to right, he got there to at least seal the edge in some way.
Picked up 6 yards before that contact.
Southeast Polk leading Iowa City High 21-7 at halftime.
You know, I got to ask you, how do you feel, because this was a topic of discussion between Randy and I as they got things going, Randy, our director. How do you feel about the white lid, gray pant combo?
It's not bad. The black uniforms, usually they save for, like, the big games. I will say that. But I don't know. I like the blues. They're all whites are awesome.
Yeah.
They're all whites
so
are, phenomenal. They wore those against Waukee last year, but I like the blue tops. I mean, they've always been my favorite. I will say the blue helmet with the giant NW, not my favorite look.
Okay.
But they have a lot of options.
They do. A lot of variables in there. As we see Corbin Smith-Fitzgerald put his foot in the ground. Picks up some positive yards before being hauled down once again. Jesus Sanchez in on the tackle.
Waukee gave up a reverse touchdown kickoff return to tie it at 7-7 against Marshalltown. They now lead 34-7 at halftime. Warriors trying to get back on track.
DCG finally jumped ahead of Waterloo West as well as another handoff. Corbin Smith Fitzgerald again down inside the 15 to the 11.
Fitzgerald on the carry.
Devin Amison was almost in there on the first time. He kind of whiffed on a tackle. He's pretty mad at himself for it, but I always think it's interesting. I haven't called a football game here at Northwest maybe ever. It's been a while that they show our stream on the big board. I just think that's kind of fun.
Love it.
Helps
as
out
long
with
as they're not
replay.
piping us through the PA, we won't get the echo.
Helps with replays.
Smith Fitzgerald again, the little counter draw down to the 7. Strong run.
Even after the whistle, I mean, Northwest, they got pancakes all over the field. The O-line, even secondary O-line, just doing a really good job up front.
Just winning in the trenches. It's such a difference maker. And it's a key. If you want any sniff at the Dome and a run to a title, you've got to have the size in the trenches to at least stack up. So they'll hand off again. Smith Fitzgerald this time plows his way across the goal line. The senior is in for another Wolves score. Strong run there.
Never had to pass it. I mean, just keep it on the ground. The guys up front are going to do their job. And steak dinners for everybody for Waukee Northwest. Really good offensive line play tonight.
Yeah, let's get those linemen some time with that steak dinner, and we'll tack on the PAT here as well. And I think we got to change a kicker.
And they're going to go with number 48.
Ben Severson, senior, has one PAT. And he'll line up his second, pipe it through, and it'll be 56-0 with 5:16 to play in the third quarter here from Northwest High School in Waukee. Wolves well ahead here on the Central Iowa Sports Network. We'll be right back after a quick break.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Joe here with Westside Auto Pros. I know that sometimes your car can be inconsiderate and need work when you're short on cash. So here's what I'll do. When you get your car fixed at Westside Auto Pros, I'll loan you the money to pay for it. Whatever you want done, repairs, services, tires, you name it. Get your car back on the road and you won't even pay any interest for 90 days. My wife thinks I'm nuts.
No interest, Joe? Are you nuts?
Get your car fixed now and pay later only at Westside Auto Pros. You don't suppose she's right.
The kickoff will hop, skip, and jump right through the end zone. And Ottumwa will start things off at the 20-yard line with this drive. They're second of the second half, and let's see if we can get another look at the touchdown run here, Blake, from Corbin Smith Fitzgerald.
Yeah, it's just really good blocking up front. 62 and 70 on that right side, just kind of pushed the hole open. And let's see if I can get names there. 70 is John Anthony Cross, senior lineman, and then Gus Macentifer.
Got to give Corbin Smith Fitzgerald a shout out to the senior with his first touchdown of the year. And we sit 56 zip as they'll pitch it out wide. It's Vance on the far side, cuts it upfield. Gain of 5.
Good blocking on the edge there by Ottumwa. Two guys that kind of pushed out off the left side. And
Huerta, the runner there, Efren. Senior, he's been busy tonight. He's had a couple good returns. And, again, there's some bits and pieces that Ottumwa's done well tonight. I think, again, you said it in the pregame coming in. They knew what they were up against, and so how do you build some positives?
And they're facing teams that they clearly just are at such a disadvantage at. And that's nothing against Ottumwa. It's just the roster size and the size in general. But, I'm telling you, a couple weeks, they're back here on the Central Iowa Sports Network Thursday Night Football against Roosevelt.
Dalby chucks it up, and that's batted down into double coverage.
If they play Roosevelt, I think it'll be a great game. I think it'll be a lot of fun to watch. And going back to that, if you're Dalby, you just got to throw that away.
Yeah.
That was a free ball up in the air at Northwest, who now has 10 picks on the year as a team, already won tonight. Easily could have taken another.
Carter Holcomb was there with the coverage to break it up. A junior defensive back. So it'll be 3rd and 4 from the 26. Clock stopped there for a moment, not sure why. Trying to buy a little bit more time, but they'll get it back.
Home cooking.
Rolling out to the right and just diving through the line. Great throw by Dalby, all things considered, but someone came unfettered through the line.
That was Hunter Merck. Almost murked the quarterback.
Jeez Louise.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, I want to see his 40 time. Unbelievable effort.
Just read it like a Troy Polamalu. Look at him fly through.
Jeez.
Nearly gets him in the backfield, and all things considered, Dalby actually gave it a good effort, just out of the hands of Maverick Rath. And it'll be another Ottumwa punt.
Only crossed the 50 once tonight, and it wasn't even them that crossed the 50. It was the
kick returner,
kick return that did it. Oh, my goodness.
That could have been blocked. Instead, it's fired off and won't even make it to the 50. I don't blame the punter there. He was under some pressure.
It's amazing they haven't been blocked tonight, but I think Northwest is also thinking, let's not hit the kicker.
Yeah.
Especially in a game like this, it's also kind of a sportsmanship thing.
Yeah.
That you're like, hey, we don't need to do anything crazy.
And we'll go to our third quarterback of the night, too, and Aiden Stollil, it looks like. Stollil?
Stollil.
Stoulil. And in case you're wondering, it is definitely his first night of action this season, a sophomore. Stands 6 foot. Takes the snap, will hand it off. Quick little dive play.
Northwest roster in general is just huge. I mean, what do you expect? It's one of the biggest school districts in the state. But I tell you what, really, if you're a Northwest fan, we saw coming in they had this huge event for elementary schools.
Yeah.
Kids. How many boys were wearing uniforms? I mean, so many kids were wearing like these Northwest uniforms. I assume it's youth football. I mean, that's just something that you got to be excited about, and that's what a lot of these young programs or young, smaller schools in the state, that's what they're striving for, getting kids the football younger in life.
Dean Vera on that run there, and you're right, Blake. I remember, and I think it's part of the tackle league that's grown exponentially out here, especially across all the suburbs. But I remember the first year of that, my brother was part of that initial launch as Vera hits the hole, fires up the middle, gain of 15, give him 16 on that run, and the senior right up the gut. But going back to that, my brother was part of that first initial West Des Moines League, and there's maybe 5-6 teams, and now we've seen it grow to almost the school ties. And they start at 9-10. I think it's 8-9-10.
Yeah, and it's insane because, everyone there, it's a bunch of wide receivers, a bunch of quarterbacks. But, boy, with the weight program that Northwest, I'm for sure, is most likely building, I mean, it's just weight. I mean, these Northwest, they're going to be a power that's going to stay here at the top. Heck, we've already seen it with Southeast Polk. Those linemen are just – all of them are big that come in, and that's a testament to the program that you build in the younger levels.
Vera, another run there, picked up 5, 2nd and 5, another handoff. Feeding the senior back there, as that'll take us likely to the end of this third quarter.
I tell you what, for being a hot October 3rd day, the breeze has definitely helped out a lot of people, I'm sure.
Supposed to be a windy weekend across central Iowa tomorrow, and then the storms move in on Monday night, Sunday night, and Monday morning. So, yeah, I mean, I'll take the breeze all day, although it's a southerly wind. It's supposed to be hotter tomorrow.
Seen any leaves changing?
Yeah, my front yard, my tree's half dead. That might be because we cut a root out or two, but, hey, that's just what we're doing. That's kept. Strong run by Stollil, and I'm going to go with Stoulil. Stollil. There we go. We got it from our PA announcer.
I think he heard you.
I apologize. Again, these are rosters. We don't always get into the 3 deep as
Good evening, passengers. Welcome aboard.
we'll pop into the fourth quarter, and they'll turn the lights out for some exciting aspects. You're not going to get to see, though, because we're going to go to commercial break on the Central Iowa Sports Network with a 56-0 score for the Wolves.
Now slowly away from the left.
What if you could make a priceless difference in your community for as little as $5? With the Des Moines Catholic Worker House, you can. For nearly 50 years, the Des Moines Catholic Worker House has given the homeless and low-income community a place to feel welcomed. With your support, we could turn 3,000 free meals each month into 4,000. we could build a brand new warming and cooling center in our future facility. We could provide more hygiene products, more clothing, and more hope to those who need it most. Feed the hungry, clothe a neighbor, and spread your generosity throughout Des Moines by scanning the QR code on the screen right now. Donate online via PayPal or mail a check to make a priceless difference in your community today. Thank you so much for your support.
In the era of LED lights, you're getting more and more shows out here, Blake. I mean, in the old days of the fluorescence,
we would have been here 15 minutes waiting
for it to power up.
Those things watching it heat up. I do miss that because you always see in the old football movies like the sound of them turning on.
Yeah. And you just hear the hum of it. It's probably not good for anyone's health to stand under them.
No.
As well be under power lines at that point as we get another handoff. It's Vera. He's going to be met in the backfield, though. Really strong tackle there. Nice job. Shout out to Tate Fourier.
Through on the stop.
Ottumwa next week going back home for their final home game of the season against Norwalk.
That could be a good game, too. I know Norwalk's had their struggles at times this year. Vera again trying to get the edge, keeps the legs churning. Look at him fight through a couple more tackles. You can't tell me these carries don't matter to the senior.
Two of their 3 wins this year coming by just 7 points. Beat Oskaloosa in the opener 7-0. Beat Des Moines East 35-6. Then to beat Des Moines Lincoln 21-14 before coming on this road stretch here in the Metro.
Stowell in the backfield, hands off once again. Vera trying to get the first down. He's going to be stopped a yard short, it looks like.
Northwest not really trying anything crazy here. They're obviously also just trying to get this clock down and keep things rolling.
4th and 2, they'll keep the offense on the field, and I think this is actually a better sign of respect, to be honest. It's one of those things you're not trying to add points to it. You're just saying, we'll see if we get the first down here or not. Stowell once again with Vera to his right. And that's going to be a false start on Waukee Northwest. Looked like number 70 is what I heard. That's John Anthony Cross, the senior D lineman. I think they'll still keep the offense out there on the field.
The way the offense is moving, I wouldn't be surprised. I would be surprised if they pass the ball, but let's see what they do here.
Stowell yet to throw a pass. He's going to keep it himself, weave his way, battles, lowers the shoulder, and the sophomore will find pay dirt for his first touchdown of the year.
He paid for it. I mean, he put his head down, made the most of it, follows his blockers, and does a really good job. Welcome to the scoring column, young man.
Shakes off his right shoulder a little bit there, too. Another great look at it as the play fake gets our cameraman down there. Kobe bid on it. I don't blame him. Vera had every carry in there. Yeah. And then they'll tack on the PAT coming your way once again. It's going to be Ben Severson, the senior. Puts it up and through the upright, 63-0, matching a season high for this Northwest team with 10:05 to play in the fourth quarter. Let's head to a break on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Employee pricing plus extra DeArmond discounts at DeArmond Ford. New 2024 F-150s with over $20,000 off. Get a new Ford Bronco with $9,000 off plus 3.9% for 72 months. New Bronco Sports on sale for $37,990 plus 3.9% for 72 months. And new Super Duties with $10,000 off. Extra discounts on top of employee pricing. Only at DeArmond Ford, Indianola.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore. And if your old fireplace isn't giving you everything you want, you need to come see us so we can show you Heat & Glow's industry-leading gas fireplace inserts. A Heat & Glow gas insert will convert your old wood burner into a high-efficient gas fireplace that's easy to use and will warm your house. Come see us soon and get on the schedule for this winter's installations. For the best selection of fireplaces in the state of Iowa, come see Fireplace Superstore, just west of Homeacres on Douglas Avenue.
And we're back here at Northwest Stadium. Kickoff going to go out of bounds. That'll draw a flag. And that'll give Ottumwa starting position, I think, up at the 35 or the 40.
Well, if you're Ottumwa, you're just kind of looking for positives here in the end, just trying to get a couple things rolling offensively and work out a couple things, a couple play calls, maybe try a couple things, just kind of rolling through if you're Coach Light's crew. Obviously, back-to-back weeks of very tough losses, but, you know, you saw this part on the schedule. You knew it was going to be tough, and you get to go home next week back at Schaefer Stadium and take on Norwalk.
I always enjoy seeing, though, what some of these teams come up with formations. The flex bone was a unique look we saw last week, obviously, and hard to identify it initially, and because you're used to a wishbone or the triple option, and that's really what this is the basis for a triple option. And right now, a quick score update. Sorry, Blake, being interrupted there. Ankeny up 14-7 on Johnston. So that could be a big result one way or the other, as that's a strong run from Schoss.
It's one of those games that could decide a home field advantage in the postseason right now, it sure feels like. Came in 4-5 in the Radio Iowa poll. Nothing against the Radio Iowa poll, but next week from here on out to the rest of the year we'll be using RPI. And Radio Iowa is always interesting because it's guys from all across the state. Like, most of the guys don't live here in the Metro. They just kind of, they box score watch and they're like, all right, well, that's got to be good enough. Not really an eye test by any means.
Yeah. As we sit under 9:30 to play in tonight's game. Oh, going with the pass. Quick swing out to the far side. Nice little pitch and catch. I think it was Rath out there. They've been mixing up receivers very nicely throughout the evening.
Just trying a couple things out. I'm waiting for a double pass. I feel like they could totally pull it off.
Maverick Rath out there, the sophomore, 5'7", $140.
He's not the biggest guy.
No, but hey.
He's only a sophomore.
Every team needs a Danny Amendola.
Yep.
Another pass, but just absolutely swallowed up in the backfield and flying through that offensive line once again is this Wolves team and Connor Hirsch.
Another sack, well up over 10 now on the season total, and there's just no time to think if you're Dalby. I mean, just pressured right away, and just kind of a missed assignment on the offensive line. Another punt coming.
They brought a few more than Ottumwa was ready for account for, and that's where communication from that O-line is so critical. 4th and 11, going to be another Ottumwa punt. Yes, we're going to tick under 8 minutes here. Punt gets away. That's going to back up the receiver and take a Northwest hop back toward the 30 to the down about the 27. That was a nasty hop. You're thinking that one might go down inside the 20. I got to say, Ottumwa's punter's done a great job.
I was going to say, Dawson Weller, he's had a couple sail out of bounds on him, but he's got a pretty good leg, all things considering.
So see who we go with. It will still be Stolol.
Just so you can say his last name a couple more times.
Yeah, you know, just to get that in there. Give him some attention. Valley up on Centennial 24-7. That one should be in hand in the third quarter for the Tigers.
Centennial's
down a little bit this year.
They are, but they're going to be one of those teams that, like Waukee, is going to be RPI cut line watching. I think they can maybe sneak in 16, 15, somewhere around there. But you'd be surprised when that RPI drops. They'll probably be higher than you think they are because they've played so many good teams.
Bryce Parker was the carry there. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think, again, there are certain teams you just don't want to see in the postseason and, face in the postseason.
Yeah.
Has another run right through the heart of that Ottumwa defense into the second level. And one more time, that ball going to Henry Schmidt. They're mixing up the junior running backs there.
He hasn't had a carry all season. So
again, fun moments for these guys. Yeah. Important moments, too, because you got to a stable of senior running backs. Then you mix it in with Tabungi, who's the clear number 2 right now. He's just a sophomore, and he's going to be a stud for this team for a long time coming. That carry, though, going to another youngin' in Liam Mamutagic, the junior. He's a kicker, but he's a running back now, too.
Sam Houston checking in. I think he was one of those that the sidelines quite pumped about. He's in at running back.
I think they're just, and the side. What I love to see is the Northwest sideline just loving every bit of this, getting guys that typically don't get a ton of carries in, and that'll be a 5-yard pickup.
That's a first down.
I think that was, yeah, Houston again. 49 in the program. Sam Houston, a senior. He's a linebacker in the program. He wants another carry.
He's kind of got that Ashton Genty stance when he's in the backfield, standing straight up, but trying to get downhill here.
Protects the Achilles a little bit. They'll hand it off to Houston again. This time, though, he got met in the backfield, and he went down pretty quick there. Logan Benji, sophomore, got it to him first.
It's an applaud from his team.
Fun moment there, and then they'll plug right back in to Bryce Parker. 38 and 39 look a little close, so I apologize. I don't know that Liam Mamutagic actually had a carry in there. Pretty sure it was Bryce Parker both times, just looked like a 9 as he weaves his way out for another big gain, picks up 10 on that 2nd and 11, make it 3rd and 1.
Northwest doing a good job. They're just kind of rotating in, getting everybody fresh legs here, just trying to get everybody a shot here.
And with that clock moving now under 5, it's Henry Schmidt back into the backfield. Expect another dive. Blake, we only have a few weeks left in this regular season. Who are the teams in 5A as Schmidt hits the hole and houses it. You got to give that young man a shout out, the junior with his first score on the year. And again, Northwest just adding to their lead, and we'll keep it here throughout. No need to go to break, but as we look at 5A, we've talked about a couple of different teams. It's hard to ignore what Northwest is doing, but Valley and Dowling are right there with them. And I think those 3 are probably your front runners with a sneaky 4, 5, 6 in there too.
Yeah, I think so. And, I mean, Dowling only lost by 1 point to Valley. You and I were at that game. If a couple things went a different direction, I think maybe Dowling could be out and be undefeated. But, you know, it's been fun so far. It really has. I think those 3 teams at the top. And I think it's the winner of Ankeny, Johnston, and whatnot that's going to be right there. And got a replay coming up here of Schmidt's touchdown run. But I don't want to put past Iowa City Liberty and Southeast Polk. I think they can also be very interesting.
Again, make the postseason, and you never know what's going to happen. Case in point, Southeast Polk with their 4th title run last year. Outside of the top 10, is there anyone that gets into the playoffs that could be a threat, you think?
Outside of the top 10, I think Ankeny Centennial definitely could. I think, you know, with Pizzetti and that whole crew, I want to see how Waukee plays against Dowling and Waukee Northwest. I think Beckett Baker, as a senior cornerback, didn't really get to end his junior year like he wanted to for the most part. But other than that, I mean, you know, you're circling them there. Sioux City East, definitely. I know they would really want that one back against Ankeny for the most part, but I don't know. I think, you know, out on Eastern Iowa side, I don't know how I feel against Iowa City West.
Yeah.
But I think Cedar Falls could also be really interesting. That is a very tough defense. As that was almost Caleb Johnson right there. I think Iowa City West could be very fun, but I think Cedar Falls could be very fun as well.
4-1, taking on Bettendorf tonight. I'll see what I can find.
How weird. You know, Cedar Falls, they play in the Unidome for so long. That's their team. That's their place. And then they build a beautiful high school. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's unbelievable how nice that high school is. So then they play outside. They can still see the Unidome. And then what happens this year? Waterloo teams play in the Unidome. So now their home's been taken, which that'll be really interesting what happens when the Waterloo teams merge together, which will be happening next year. Keep an eye out for that. I think it's going to be quite interesting.
Quick score update. Johnston and Ankeny now back up at 14 a pop. A lot of coverage out there for that game from what I saw.
You talk about how big that school system is going to be when those two merge. Holy cow. I mean, Waterloo West is already one of the biggest school districts in the state, but
Well, and keep in mind, Roosevelt merged with Hoover this year because Hoover didn't have the numbers to field the team. And
you give that 2 years, Roosevelt might be pushing RPI top 16. I think they could be a sneaky team. They have almost been a sneaky team.
30 minutes ago, the update out of Cedar Falls. They were up 14-3 on Bettendorf. Again, a Bettendorf team that likes to play spoiler more often than not.
Almost went to the Dome last year. I mean, they only lost one game or came short.
Bounced outside and out of bounds.
But I think, I can't remember if we were talking about it on air or if it was off air, but there really is no Ottumwa, Waterloo West, just kind of
There's no fringe like 7-2 team.
There's just not. It's not quite there this year, and maybe DCG plays that part if they do, but they're just kind of sitting on the edge. I think Norwalk, for sure. I mean, Norwalk has faced a lot. There's Waterloo West.
Yeah, Waterloo West leading DCG 20-14. That came out in Waterloo.
You almost wonder, John, and I've seen this as a Hawkeye fan when Iowa upset Penn State a couple years ago. You put so much into one game, which they knew last week was such a big game against Waukee, talking about Dallas Center Grimes, that they just thought, we got to go to Waterloo this week. I mean, that can't be that bad. But McGovern, that whole team, Waterloo West can play. I mean, I know they just got destroyed by Dowling, but I don't know. I definitely think.
Well, and to be honest, if you're DCG, you need to get this win because then you're at Marshalltown and Ames, which should be 2 wins. But you finish with Kennedy, who, while yes, getting blown out tonight, can certainly be a spoiler for them too.
They're big team. Big team, I can tell you that. So I don't know. They can't afford to lose tonight, I can tell you that.
DCG's first year in 5A, if I recall, and so making the step up as we get a big run from Ottumwa. Looked like a pitch out there. Nice gain and a run after the fact by Tate Frua.
Through the ball carrier.
But you give it 3-4 years. Norwalk, DCG, Indianola. I mean, they're gonna be fun.
Dalby taking a lick on that play as he made the pitch. But there's a nice play for Ottumwa. So we tick under 2 minutes. It's really been a tough game, obviously, from an Ottumwa perspective. Really strong game from Waukee Northwest. They did everything they needed to tonight to get ready for that Southeast Polk matchup.
And it's really just identical to what we saw last week. And we kind of thought that was what we were going to see, but Ottumwa scored 6 last week. I guess that's the only difference. But Waukee Northwest is going to put up 70, and it's just they knew it was going to be a tough stretch coming in. Obviously, the loss is going to be tough tonight, but there's still chances here to end the season for Ottumwa to end out strong. Again, that Roosevelt game is going to be really fun at MediaCom in a couple weeks. So still, there are pieces to this Ottumwa team that can still make a lot.
A lot of football left in the year. We still have 3 weeks left on the season. The final regular season games being played October 24th. And then Halloween night is when things get interesting with the postseason. As we have 45 seconds.
You going to dress up?
I've got trick-or-treating with the kiddos, man.
I think I'm going to dress up for my broadcast.
There you
I don't
go.
know. I'll probably be on a playoff.
I think you got to go like a Ron Burgundy or a Brick Tamlin.
I already got my costume.
Oh, do you? Okay. Don't tell me.
Well, okay.
Don't tell me.
I thought I told you last week.
Oh, are you Days of Thunder?
Yeah. No, it's still Tom Cruise.
Oh,
Top
you should have gone Days of Thunder, you being the NASCAR guy you are. Would have been money. Oh, Dalby takes a lick, chucks it up. That's going to be, is it picked off or is it not? They're going to rule it as an interception on the sideline. Looked like Carter Holcomb wanted to come down with it. He does.
That's 11 on the year for Waukee
And that will take us to the end of this game. Again, Waukee Northwest wins tonight 70-0 over the Ottumwa Bulldogs. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight on the Central Iowa Sports Network. For our wonderful crew this evening, Blake Walker, John Schaefer. You enjoy the rest of your Friday night. Stay safe out there. We will see you come next Friday. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you for attending tonight's game. The track and field will be closed in 20 minutes.